timing me now? Okay. So I am against the current resolution for mainly two reasons. The first is it lacks community inclusion. And not in a way where I'm sure people are maybe going to hold a forum, but in a way where communities are not centered in this process. If this resolution is to address a community issue of policing practices or community grievances or collective grievances against or as regards to the police, the community should be centered in the process. For an example, the community should have been part of drafting the resolution, and we wouldn't be here having the conversation that we're having now, having taken some steps prior to that. So it is a lack of community inclusion. But we want community inclusion in a real way. So the second reason why I oppose the resolution is it doesn't fundamentally address the issue of power as it relates to communities having power or control over the police. And to speak frankly or transparently, affluent communities and white communities as a class have control or power as it relates to the police. But the black communities do not. And that is what we need changed here. That is what we are aiming to change here, both locally and nationally as part of the Black Lives Matter movement. We no longer want the relationship with the police where the police come into our communities and police us in a hierarchical manner. Instead, we want a relationship with the police where the police are actually serving us and our community needs and our community's interests. And in order to move toward community control or to give or to support black communities in having more control as it relates to the police, we have to close the gap between community involvement in the process and the outcome or the execution of power in the process. It doesn't matter if you have a work group that is all black and a expert who is black, but that work group and that expert have no power over the actual policies or practices or whatever the decisions are that the police are going to make. To do so would actually be to create some sort of figurehead group or some sort of group that would be, what is it called?
I know, you ain't got time.
Okay, I don't have time. But that would actually not be, that would be tokenizing black voices, that would be tokenizing black representatives. So we need poor black communities, and I emphasize poor, and not mainstream black communities, though I think they should be a significant part of this as well, because those are the communities most impacted. So we need poor black people at the center of this, determining how this process goes, part of the evaluation and the changing of police practices, priorities, and procedures with actual power. There already exists a fire and police and commissioner group. The problem is there is not poor black representation and poor black power as a part of that group. If you create something that just mirrors that, then you actually didn't do anything. So we are going for power. We need community control.